Part 150. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1491. Chapter 1491. If there is anything unusual, please report it to me immediately. When the word baby was shouted out, all the senior executives felt goosebumps falling all over the floor. There is a particularly scary feeling. I am not afraid of heaven or earth, but I am afraid that Mo will always say gentle words. After all, Mr. Mo usually has a nonchalant, serious, and indifferent demeanor in the company, which makes people a little scared. It is hard to imagine that such a person would have such a gentle side and would call others precious. They will also ask questions such as, "Do you miss me?" I don't know how capable the woman on the other end of the phone is to receive such special treatment from Mr. Mo. Asterisk. Chiao Mian called Mo Yesi, and when he got through, she asked directly, "Mo Yesi, did you increase the sales of the advertisement I endorsed?" The man's deep voice came over, which was very sultry. "What sales volume?" "You don't know," Chiao Mian asked. "I am the spokesperson for a facial mask advertisement." Mo Yesi was quiet for a few seconds. "You endorsed the facial mask advertisement?" "Baby, what exactly did you want to ask when you called me? What about the boost in sales you just mentioned?" Chiao Mian. So, Mo Yesi didn't even know that she endorsed the facial mask advertisement? Then it would be even less possible to help her increase sales. Chiao Mian finally believed that she had sold those facial masks by herself. She suppressed her excitement. "It's nothing. If you are busy now, then I won't disturb your work. I'll hang up now, bye." After she finished speaking, she hung up the phone. Another side. The man frowned, and when he heard the disconnection sound coming from his cell phone, Mo Yesi frowned and called Wei Zheng over. He told Wei Zheng, "Go and check whether the young madam has accepted any endorsements recently. Come and tell me as soon as you find out. Wait for Mo Yesi to return to his office after the meeting." Wei Zheng also found out about Chiao Mian's endorsement, including the fact that the facial mask endorsed by Chiao Mian was put on sale online today. He reported to Mo Yesi, "Mr. Mo, the young lady accepted an advertisement for a facial mask, and the facial mask went on sale today. The sales volume of the facial mask that the young lady endorses is currently very good. Also, Chiao Angzhen also endorses the same brand. Facial masks are also sold online today. The sales volume of the facial mask endorsed by young madam is much higher than that of Chiao Angzhen. Mr. Mo, this is the first time madam has endorsed an advertisement. Do you think we should help her boost her sales and make her results look even better?" After listening to Wei Zheng's report, Mo Yesi thought about the phone call Chiao Mian made just now, and finally understood what was going on. He thought for a moment, shook his head and said, "There is no need to help her brush it up for now. What she wants is definitely her real score." "Okay, Mr. Mo. But keep an eye on it." Mo Yesi narrowed his eyes and said, "Just because we don't do it doesn't mean others won't do it. If there's anything unusual, report it to me right away." "Yes, Mr. Mo. Asterisk. The other side. When Chiao Angzhen saw that Chiao Mian's sales were growing faster and faster, and had exceeded hers by more than half, she was angry and in disbelief. How come Chiao Mian's sales are so high? Did she find someone to help her? Songfang and she were both very confident originally, thinking they could crush Chiao Mian in sales. But the current situation has turned into Chiao Angzhen being crushed by Chiao Mian. The kind of crushing that is terrible to look at. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1492. Chapter 1492. How much sales can a newbie drive? Chiao Angzhen is a first-tier female artist, but the sales volume of the products she endorses cannot compete with that of a newcomer who is not even above the 18th tier. She must have done it. Song Fang also looked dumbfounded. If she hadn't done it, she wouldn't have achieved the results she has now. Then what should we do now? Xiao Angzhen said with a livid face. I can't lose to this little bitch. Shueishia also has many first-line products. If my sales are considerable this time, I will have a chance to get those first-line endorsements. But if I lose to this little bitch, they will definitely not give me a better endorsement. Song Fang's face didn't look very good either. Xiao Angzhen is the artist she brought with her, and the quality of her resources in the future will also be related to her. She naturally hopes that Xiao Angzhen will get better and better. Since she is doing it, let's do it too. Song Fang gritted her teeth and said, you are right, you can't lose to her. I will make arrangements now. Asterisk. While Xiao Mianmian's sales reached 10,000, Xiao Angzhen's sales were only 5,000. Some netizens are still discussing this matter on Weibo, and they also doubt whether Xiao Mianmian has brushed up her statistics. But soon, so-called relevant experts took out the data and analyzed it, and finally came to the conclusion that Xiao Mianmian's sales were based on real evidence, and there was no fraud. In response to this, netizens lamented that Xiao Angzhen became the loser in Xiao Mianmian's hands. A little star who has only been out for a few years can't compare to a newcomer. As expected, after leaving Xinggui, no one praised him anymore, and his true strength became apparent. Not long after the netizens finished lamenting, the sharp-eyed netizens discovered that Xiao Angzhen's sales suddenly increased rapidly. In less than half an hour, she tied with Xiao Mianmian. After a while, Xiao Angzhen's sales exceeded Xiao Mianmian's. I found that Xiao Angzhen's sales have increased a lot in a short period of time. Originally, she had always sold much less than Xiao Mianmian, but now she has surpassed Xiao Mianmian. Isn't this a fraud? What a scam! Many of Xiao Angzhen's fans only know about it now. Okay. Xiao Angzhen's fans are probably n times more than Xiao Mianmian's in any case. In terms of fans' purchasing power, they are far ahead of her every minute. I also think she is swiping orders. The sales volume of a newcomer is higher than that of a first-line flower. Is this normal? I am a fan of Sister N and I just learned that the facial mask endorsed by Sister N is online. I just bought 10 boxes to support her. I am also a fan Ad 1, and I just found out about this. I just bought 10 boxes to support her. In an instant, Xiao Angzhen's fans all came out, saying that they had just seen Xiao Angzhen's Weibo and went to support her. This means that Xiao Angzhen did not cheat the order. The doubts raised by passers-by were quickly submerged in various comments from fans. The sales volume of Xiao Angzhen's facial masks is still rising rapidly. At first, Xiao Mianmian was half as much as she was, but an hour later, it became that she was half as much as Xiao Mianmian. Mo Yesi had asked Wei Zheng to keep an eye on this matter before, so when Wei Zheng saw Xiao Angzhen's sales rising rapidly, he immediately reported the abnormal situation to Mo Yesi. Asterisk. Su Xia Sales Department. The sales of Xiao Angzhen and Xiao Mianmian were recorded in real time on the computer screen. Seeing that Xiao Angzhen quickly surpassed half of Xiao Mianmian's sales, the woman who signed Xiao Angzhen was immediately proud and said to Zhang Yu, I didn't agree with you signing a newbie, a usable artist. So many, how much sales can a newbie drive? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1493. Chapter 1493. The requirements should not be too harsh. You have to tell me something. She is very popular now, not losing to those first and second tier artists, but now, as you can see, newcomers are just newcomers, and there is still no way to compare with first and second tier artists. Moreover, Xiao Angzhen's sales continue to rise, and now they have surpassed Xiao Mian by a lot soon. The gap between them will become wider and wider. From now on, young actors like this who rely on hot searches to gain popularity should not. If you look again, it would be much better to spend more money to find a first or second tier one. Zhang Yu looked at the sales numbers displayed on the computer screen, pursed his lips, and said nothing. He came to Xiao Mian because someone above him said hello. At that time, he also felt that signing Xiao Mian would definitely result in a loss. But later when he met Xiao Mian himself, he changed his mind. Zhang Yu is still very satisfied with Xiao Mian's current sales. As a newcomer, such sales are already very good. Even though Xiao Angzhen is far beyond her now, Zhang Yu thinks it's normal. I don't think that Xiao Mian should be signed because of this. Xiao Angzhen has more fans than Xiao Mian, so it is normal for her sales to be higher than Xiao Mian's. I think Xiao Mian's grades are very good. Zhang Yu was silent for a while and looked at the woman who spoke. There is no need for her to compare with Xiao Angzhen. They are not on the same level. Besides, Xiao Angzhen's signing fee is higher than hers. It's right to have better sales than her. It's better not to be too harsh when it comes to treating a new person. The woman pursed her lips and hummed softly. In short, there is no need to sign new people like this in the future. Fortunately, we signed Xiao Angzhen, otherwise the sales volume in one quarter would not be enough. Zhang Yu frowned slightly and said nothing. He half squinted his eyes and looked at the computer screen. The sales of Xiao Angzhen's column continued to rise, and in a short period of time, they had exceeded Xiao Mian's by 3 times. Asterisk. Mo's family. Mr. Mo, can we swipe orders for young Madam now? Xiao Angzhen's swiping orders are so great that Madam Young's sales are now being crushed by her. I just saw the report on Weibo in this matter. The young lady was crushed by Xiao Angzhen, and there is a huge disparity in strength between the two sisters. Wei Zheng felt angry as he spoke. What kind of thing is Xiao Angzhen, who can also crush his young lady? If you can't compete with your strength, you'll just go ahead and swipe orders, and you still have the nerve to talk about crushing them. It was obviously the young lady who crushed her in the beginning. Mo Yesi raised his head from a document. Notify immediately and ask the finance department to send a sum of money to all employees of Mo's. Then notify all employees and ask them to buy the facial mask endorsed by the young madam. What is the sales volume of your young madam? It must be better than Xiao Angzhen, do you understand? Wei Zheng is so excited. He nodded immediately and said, okay, Mr. Mo, I'll take care of it right away. I promise to handle this matter beautifully. Wei Zheng is Mo Yesi's right-hand man, and he is naturally very efficient. In less than 10 minutes, 2 notices were sent out. When he sent the second notice, he also attached a purchase link for the facial mask endorsed by Xiao Mian in his work email. Asterisk. Xiao Angzhen has increased her sales volume and is still complacent. She felt very happy when she saw the disparaging words about Xiao Mian in the press release. Her pride only lasted a few minutes when she saw Songfang walking towards her with a not-so-good look on her face. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1494. Chapter 1494. I asked Wei Zheng to give you some data. Xiao Angzhen raised her head. Sister Song, what's wrong? Xiao Mian has started to swipe orders. Songfang handed her the phone to look at. Her sales are increasing very fast now, which is simply not what we can match. If it continues to increase at this rate, I'm worried that it won't take more than 10 minutes. She will surpass you. What? Xiao Angzhen's expression suddenly changed. She took over her phone and refreshed it, and saw that Xiao Mian's sales were rising at an alarming rate. Songfang said that Xiao Mian would surpass her in 10 minutes. Xiao Angzhen felt that at this speed, he could surpass her in less than 5 minutes. She just made so many orders and spent a lot of money. Half of the endorsement fee was spent. She only wanted to win Xiao Mian, and felt that even losing money didn't matter. Originally, she thought she would win this battle. Unexpectedly, Xiao Mian started spending money to swipe orders. For a moment, Xiao Angzhen's face looked ugly. Compared to throwing away money, how could she compare to Xiao Mian now? Even if she invested all her money, she still wouldn't win. In the minute she was stunned, Xiao Mian's sales increased a lot. Already equal to her. Xiao Angzhen is also making orders, but her sales are far less fast than Xiao Mian's. After another minute, Xiao Mian surpassed her. Song Fang was dumbfounded. She is too fast. An Xin, what should we do now? Do we still want to continue brushing? Xiao Angzhen's face turned livid. At this moment, she knew clearly that all the money she had invested before was in vain. Once Xiao Mian starts to swipe orders, she will definitely not be able to compete. Asterisk. The other side. Xiao Mian knew that her sales had once again surpassed Xiao Angzhen's, and it was already a few hours later when someone placed the order for her. Nana told her after she finished filming. She called Linda again, and Linda told her that the company originally had such a plan, but when they were about to help her swipe the order, they found that someone was already swiping the order. Xiao Mian went to ask Mo Yesi again. Well, I asked Wei Zheng to give you some data. Xiao Mian took a look at her current sales volume and felt that he might have done more than just a little bit of data. She has exceeded Xiao Angzhen's sales by more than 4 times. I don't know if Xiao Angzhen feels that she can't win over her, so sales have increased much slower. Xiao Mian never thought about brushing data. She had no problem with Mo Yesi supporting her in this way. After all, she now knows very well what her husband's financial strength is. What's wrong? Are you unhappy? Mo Yesi didn't hear her speak anymore and thought she was angry, so he explained, I know you don't like me interfering in your affairs. But I don't want my wife to lose to a phony person. Since you and Xiao Angzhen have signed an endorsement deal with the same company, this sales volume should still be very important to you. In fact, most of it is your result. If Xiao Angzhen didn't cheat, your sales volume would normally be higher than hers. Of course Xiao Mian will not be unhappy because of this kind of thing. She knew that Xiao Angzhen had placed the order. At first she didn't want to pay attention to this matter, but she didn't expect that Mo Yesi knew about it and helped her pay the order. Looking at Xiao Angzhen's side, it seems to have calmed down. I guess I also know that I can't swipe her orders by swiping orders, and I don't want to invest any more money in it. Mo Yesi is right, this is her first endorsement, and it is still very important to her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1495. Chapter 1495. Mo Yesi's nagging is only for her. If the facial mask she endorses sells well, it will be good for her to be endorsed next time. Her thoughts are not as pretentious as before. She only wants to rely on herself for everything and is unwilling to accept help from others. Mo Yesi is her husband, the person closest to her. There is nothing wrong with her accepting help from her husband. Since he figured out these things, Xiao Mian started using various backdoors and felt that there was no psychological barrier anymore. Itself, the original relationship resource, is also a resource. Otherwise, if you were born into a rich and powerful family, would you have to break away from your family of origin in order to prove that you can live without your parents? Only a fool would do such a thing. Husband, thank you, Xiao Mian said softly. There was suddenly no sound from Mo Yesi's side. He was silent for a long time. Xiao Mian thought he had gone to do other things, so she couldn't help but call out softly, Mo Yesi, are you still there? Yeah, the man responded in a low voice. Jiao Mian, why did you lose your voice just now? I'm thinking about something. What's the matter? Would you like to see you? Baby, when you call me husband, I can't control myself. Even though she was far away and knew that he couldn't see her, Jiao Mianmian's face still turned a little red. The base of the ear is also a little red. This man Mo Yesi is really. Hey, forget it, I'll just bear with it. After a few seconds, the man sighed softly, as if he was helpless. Mr. Mo, Mr. Lin from Santa Fe is here. Jiao Mian heard Wei Zheng's voice on the phone, and she took the initiative and said, "Go and do your business. I'll call you in the evening." "Well, I'll go and get busy first. Remember to eat on time, and don't mind it and just deal with it casually." "Okay, I get it." The two of them talked on the phone every day, 3 times in the morning, noon, and evening. Plus video chat in the evening. Mo Yesi became very nagging in front of her, saying these words to her every day and asking her to eat well. Although Jiao Mian felt that he was a bit nagging, she still felt very sweet in her heart. Because of Mo Yesi's nagging, he only treats her. He takes her to heart, values her, and cares about her, so he remembers to remind her of these little things every day. Asterisk. The interior of Shuexia. At the end of the day, Jiao Mianmian's sales exceeded Jiao Angzhen's by 5 times. The woman who initially complained that Jiao Mian shouldn't be signed was left speechless by the data. The first advertising endorsement signed by Jiao Mian, the product sales reached more than 50,000 that day. This number is a number that many first-line artists may not have. As a newcomer, the results of his first advertisement were so good that it attracted the attention of many brands in the industry. The next day, Linda called her happily and told her that many advertisers had approached her and wanted her to endorse their products. Jiao Mian asked about it and found out that the brands she was looking for endorsements included snacks, shampoo, shower gel, and fast food. Linda analyzed with her, "These brands are not bad. In the past, I would have suggested you to go with them. But now, I think we can still pick up higher-end ones. So I rejected them all for you. Your first advertisement is for a second-tier skincare product. Even if you haven't even joined a third-tier artist now, you can't lower your standards to shoot third-tier products. If you go higher, don't accept anything lower than second-tier products in the future." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1496. Chapter 1496 takes this opportunity very seriously. When your TV series comes out, you have works, and you gain real popularity and fans, we will go straight to the first-line products. Anyway, I have planned your future route for you, just listen to me. Of course Jiao Mian believed in Linda. Linda is a gold medal manager and has made so many famous artists under her management. Since she said she had arranged everything, Jiao Mian had nothing to worry about. And what Linda said makes sense. Her first advertisement was for a second-tier product, and her starting point was fairly high. There was no need to take on other third-tier products. Jiao Mian still felt a little hurt after rejecting so many advertisements at once. Although she also knew that Linda's decision was definitely right and that it was all for her own good, but from what Linda said, the endorsement fees for those third-tier products were very considerable, even higher than the endorsement fee for this advertisement she signed now. As a newcomer who has not really become popular yet, Jiao Mian still takes the endorsement fees very seriously. The advertisements that Jiao Angzhen and Jiao Mian shot at the same time still endorsed the same product. One is a small flower. One is a newbie. But Jiao Angzhen's sales on that day were not as good as Jiao Mian's, and her sales in the following days were also far lower than Xiao Mianmian's. The first advertisement Xiao Angzhen released after being banned for a while did not drive as much sales as a newcomer. This made her anxious and angry, making her whole body anxious. Her signing fee is higher than Xiao Mianmian. If the sales volume that can be driven is not as good as Xiao Mianmian, in the future, others who want to shoot advertisements will not be willing to look for her, and will directly go to Xiao Mianmian, whose price is much lower than hers. Xiao Angzhen was very afraid that something like this would really happen, and that her future career would be affected by this incident. She worked extra hard to serve Boss Huang for a few days, and asked Boss Huang to help her win an audition for a blockbuster movie to be shot in the second half of the year. It is a movie with huge investment and will have many big names gathered. The director is the best director in the relevant subject matter. The producer is also a very famous producer in the circle. The script was written by a few first-class screenwriters, but all the films written by those screenwriters have a box office of at least 1 billion. Although Xiao Angzhen is on the front line, she has been filming TV series. She has never thought about entering the film industry, but unfortunately she is not strong enough. Suzy also helped her win some movie roles, but Xiao Angzhen didn't like those roles that she could win through connections. This time around, the spots for the film casting are quite tight. Boss Huang also managed to get one for her with great difficulty. Xiao Angzhen attached great importance to this opportunity and even found a relevant director from the film school to give her extra lessons. If she can be selected in this audition, even if it is just one of the supporting roles, it will be of great help to her current career. So Xiao Angzhen made up his mind, worked his acting skills, and tried to be sure to be selected. She did work harder and more seriously this time than ever before. In the past, she could still rely on Suzy, so there was no sense of crisis. Even though she relies on Boss Huang and is completely obedient to her, there are many women around Boss Huang and he is not a romantic person at all. Besides, Xiao Angzhen doesn't want to serve an old man like Boss Huang all the time. She can only get rid of everything now when a lot of resources come to her in the future. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1497. Chapter 1497. Don't you have any idea? These days, Xiao Angzhen and Xiao Mianmian are all on Weibo hot searches. The two are sisters, they both entered the entertainment industry, and they even started fighting over the same man on Weibo. The elder sister is now on the front line, and the younger sister is still a newcomer. However, as a newcomer, the products she endorses have much higher sales than her elder sister. Coupled with the previous quarrel between the two, it aroused various associations among the crowd. It is said that my elder sister has already far surpassed my younger sister before she has really become popular. When Bai Yusheng's TV series is completed and aired, if he becomes popular through the TV series, wouldn't he have to kill Xiao Angzhen instantly? I think it's only a matter of time before Xiao Mianmian becomes famous. She has good looks, acting skills, and a good personality. Looking at the resources now, she shouldn't have to worry about it. If she doesn't become popular, it will be unforgivable. Didn't it be revealed that Xiao Angzhen suppressed her before? If it weren't for Xiao Angzhen's suppression, she might have become famous. At least she would have become a third-tier person. Did Xiao Angzhen suppress her like that because she was afraid that Xiao Mianmian would become famous? To steal her job? Objectively speaking, Xiao Mianmian's conditions are indeed much better than Xiao Angzhen's. Xiao Angzhen's appearance is that of Xiaojiabiu, and she looks more petty. Without makeup, her appearance is probably even lower. Xiao Mianmian's facial features are very delicate and three-dimensional, and her appearance is outstanding. Xiao Angzhen and Street. If the resources given to Xiao Angzhen had been given to Xiao Mianmian would have been doing well now, just relying on Xinggui. Without Xinggui, there would be nothing in her hands. What a great resource! Haha, bitch Chiao has hired a lot of Navy troops recently. Do you really not blush when you praise yourself so much? It's okay to praise yourself, but you always step on R and Xin. Isn't it disgusting? Bitch Chiao, please don't do it. Why don't you take advantage of our peace of mind again and have some face? Bitch Chiao, be a human being. You've been riding on An's popularity for several days. An respects you as a sister and doesn't care about you. It doesn't mean that our fans don't care either. If you really want to be so capable, stop pestering An. Don't let it go. No matter how bad an Xin is, it's still a first line one. How much better than you are? You don't have the nerve to brag about sales. No one knows that it's all done by fake orders. Try it. Don't you know whether people will buy the products you endorse? Chiao Angzhen's fans started arguing with netizens in the comment area again. The fans are trying to help Chiao feel at ease, but they don't know that their actions will only arouse more and more opinions from passers-by. Many passers-by said that they were originally indifferent to Chiao Angzhen, but now the road has turned dark. On the contrary, Chiao Myanmar's fans behaved very well in this quarrel, reasoning with the opponent in a well-founded manner, and gained the favor of many passers-by. Other artists, even first-line artists, find it difficult to be searched every day. Generally, those that can be searched every day are also operated by the company team. But Chiao Mian has a physique that is easy to be on hot searches. The less she wants to appear on hot searches, the easier it will be for her to appear on hot searches. Linda felt that she helped the company save a lot of money. Because the sales of the facial mask endorsed by Chiao Mian were very good, Shueishia immediately signed another shampoo advertisement with her. Chiao Mian's hair is of particularly good quality. Her hair is soft and shiny, and feels silky and soft, as if it has its own special effects. Knowing that Chiao Mian was going to shoot a commercial, Bai Yusheng specifically put the scenes she wanted to shoot in front of her and gave her 3 days. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1498. Chapter 1498. Should I wake her up now? Chiao Mian's special treatment is the only one among all the artists who have collaborated with Bai Yusheng. The crew were discussing privately, saying that Bai Yusheng dotes on this cousin to the extreme. Like her own sister. When her younger sister Chiao Mian heard these comments, she also lamented that it was different to have a brother who was a director, and it was even more different because this brother was still her current director. She originally thought Bai Yusheng was a particularly fair and selfless person. Now I know that no matter how fair and selfless a person is, there will be times when he favors someone selfishly. Asterisk. Chiao Mian took advantage of her vacation to shoot her new advertisement. The advertising was shot in a resort. Chiao Mian went with the staff of Shueishia. 3 hours later, a group of people arrived in Haikan. After getting off the plane, someone came to pick them up. Chiao Mian and Nana were in a car alone, and the rest of the staff were in another car. The resort is in the suburbs, a bit far from the airport. It took more than 2 hours of driving to arrive at the resort. By the time we finally arrived at our destination, the sky was almost dark. The first day was to get familiar with the environment, and the shooting started on the second day. After more than 3 months of flight and more than 2 hours of driving, Chiao Mian was so tired that she didn't even want to eat dinner after getting off the bus. After saying hello to the staff, she went directly to sleep in the room assigned to her. Asterisk. Master, Miss Chiao has arrived at the villa now. I heard that she went to bed without eating dinner. Should I wake her up now? A black Bugatti drove into the villa. After getting off the car, the housekeeper of the villa who came to greet Gong Zili reported to him one by one the whereabouts of Chiao Mian since his arrival. In the night. The man has a slender figure, and his handsome and feminine features are coated with a cold color by the dark night, making his aura even more cold and threatening. Those narrow phoenix eyes also had a cold color. Only when they heard the three words Miss Jiao did they show some warmth for a second or two. The man walked very quickly, unbuttoning the front of his shirt while striding towards the white building in front of him. Since she is already asleep, there is no need to wake her up. Let her have a good sleep. Instruct the kitchen to work 24 hours a day. If she is hungry, cook her whatever she wants. The housekeeper couldn't help being startled, and raised his head to look at him twice. This holiday village is one of the many properties of the Gong family. Gong Zili actually doesn't come here often. But the housekeeper remembered that he had brought the eldest daughter of the Shen family here before. At that time, he was very protective of the eldest daughter of the Shen family. In recent years, apart from the eldest daughter of the Shen family, Gong Zili has not brought any other women here. It was the first time that Gong Zili paid so much attention to a woman other than Shen Ro, so the housekeeper was naturally surprised. Thinking of the little girl who looked like a fairy, the housekeeper felt that this was not too unexpected. The little girl named Qiao is so pretty. If he were 20 years younger, he wouldn't be sure whether he would be attracted to her. Of course, the eldest lady of the Shen family is also beautiful. But in comparison, the housekeeper still felt that Miss Jiao was more pleasing to the eye and more comfortable. Shen Ro looked a little stronger. Anyway, if it were him, he would prefer the little girl named Jiao. She is so beautiful that it is not impossible for the young Master Gong to fall in love with her. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1499. Chapter 1499 Behavior like a thief. Yes, master, I will go to the kitchen right away. Do you want to have a meal now, or? There is no need to prepare my dinner. Just keep an eye on Miss Jiao. Whatever she asks, I will give it to her. Steward, yes. Asterisk. Qiao Mian didn't know that the location where she shot the advertisement was the real estate property owned by the Gong family. She didn't even know that it was Gong Zili's intention that she would be arranged to come here. Qiao Mian was very tired and sleepy. After she found the room arranged for her by Shueshia, she took a shower, changed her clothes and fell asleep on the bed. This sleep, I slept very deeply. It was so heavy that she didn't even know someone had entered her room. Gong Zili knew that what he did was despicable, and he also knew that he shouldn't do it. However, he felt that he had not seen Qiao Mian for a long time. He wanted to see her very much, but he couldn't find any reason to go to her. After much deliberation, I had no choice but to arrange for Qiao Mian to be here on the pretext of shooting an advertisement for her. This is the Gong family's resort. At that time, he can say that he is here for vacation and stay for a few days. Such a reason would not arouse her suspicion. Before making this decision, Miyazawa Li also hesitated for a long time. But he really wanted to see Qiao Mian, so even though he had some scruples, he couldn't resist his inner demand in the end and arranged for her to come over. The sleeping girl slept soundly. Miyazawa walked lightly to the bed. The curtains are not fully closed. There is a layer of bright white moonlight filtering in from the window. The moonlight is like a thin layer of gauze covering the body of the bed. The girl's beautiful elf-like face looks peaceful and beautiful, and she looks like sleeping peacefully like the Sleeping Beauty in the fairy tale. Moonlight, the bed, and the flowers blooming quietly in the garden. Everything looks so beautiful. Gong Zili stood quietly by the bed for a while. Qiao Mian suddenly turned over on the bed. Gong Zili thought she was awake, and a trace of panic flashed in his eyes. Just when he was about to turn around and find a place to hide, he discovered Qiao Mian, still with eyes closed. She did not wake up, she was still sleeping deeply. Miyazawa breathed a sigh of relief, but at the same time he felt contempt for his thief-like behavior. He has never done anything so out of class. Sneak into a woman's room, stand by the bed and peek at her while she is asleep. Still anxious and nervous while peeking. Afraid that she would wake up the next second. After Chiao Mian turned over, the thin blanket covering her body slid partially under the bed. Gong Zili hesitated for a moment, bent down, and gently covered her with the thin blanket. He moved very gently, covering her with a blanket while checking to see if she woke up. After covering the bed, Gong Zili stood motionless by the bed for another 10 minutes and looked at Chiao Mian for another 10 minutes before leaving the bedroom. While sleeping, Chiao Mian always felt that there was a pair of eyes looking at her, and the gaze was so intense that she couldn't ignore it. She wanted to see clearly the owner of her eyes, but that person was hidden in the darkness. No matter how she looked, she couldn't see what he looked like. But Chiao Mian could feel that it was a man's gaze. It was still the gaze of a man who looked very similar to Mo Yesi. Because there was possessiveness and paranoia in that look. Although it looked like Mo Yesi, she was sure that it was not Mo Yesi. Asterisk. After Gong Zili returned to his room, he thought about it and sent a WeChat message to Yan Xiaoqing. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1500. Chapter 1500. If she didn't marry ACI, I would have pried her off. Gong Zili, if one day AC and I turn against each other, whose side will you stand on? Miyazawa replied with 2 words in seconds, damn it. The next second, he called. The ringtone rang again and again, and the rapid music seemed to be urging Gong Zili to answer the phone quickly. Gong Zili hesitated for a few seconds and then picked up. Holy shit, fourth brother, are you crazy? I'm telling you, you can't have those crazy ideas. Stop it right now and don't think about it anymore. Gong Zili narrowed his narrow eyes, stood up, walked to the wine cabinet, and took out a bottle of red wine. He opened the wine bottle and asked slowly, do you know what I want to do? Of course I know, Yan Xiaoqing was very excited, is there anyone who knows you better than me? As soon as your buttocks lifted, I knew what you were going to do. Gong Zili. Didn't I tell you before that no matter how tempted you are, you must control it? Fourth child, she is the second brother's wife and our sister-in-law. If she is still single, I fully support you in pursuing her, but she is married. She married the second brother. If you are confused like this, I won't stand by you. You don't take brotherhood seriously. If you cared, you wouldn't do such a thing. No one will support you in what you do. Do you really want to break with all our brothers? Yan Xiaoqing said a lot excitedly. Gong Zili listened without saying a word. After listening, he replied calmly, second brother, why are you so excited? Do you think I don't know what you said? If I really wanted to take action, I wouldn't give it to you. You make this call. The red wine was opened, Gong Zili poured a glass of wine, raised his head and drank it all in one gulp. He had the idea of being impulsive. But he knew the price. So I can only think about it. But in the end, I was still unwilling to accept it and wanted to find someone to talk to. Among the few people, he and Yan Xiaoqing always talked about everything. At this time, he had no one else to talk to but Yan Xiaoqing. Then why are you calling me? Yan Xiaoqing's tone was not as excited as before. You also told me inexplicably that you and your second brother would turn against each other in the future. I was shocked by you and thought you were going to take advantage of the situation. Well, I have had such an idea. Gong Zili didn't shy away from it. If she hadn't married ACI, I would have pried her off. Yan Xiaoqing, old fourth, you. Don't lecture me for a long time. I know I shouldn't even have an idea. But I can't control it. What can I do? Gong Zili poured another glass of wine and tugged at the corners of his lips. You and the woman named Song is also unrealistic, but can you forget her? Can you control yourself not to think about her? Yan Shaoqing, who told you that I can't forget her? The woman named Song is a wolf with white eyes. I can see her clearly now. I have never lacked women around me. Is she rare? What the is she? It's worth remembering. If you didn't mention her, I wouldn't have thought there was such a person. Gong Zili smiled. Well, do you think there is a lack of women around me? Of course you are not lacking, but just because you are not lacking, I don't understand. Don't understand what? Fourth brother, when you liked Chen Ro before, it didn't stop you from making friends with other women. How come you are living like a heartless monk now, and there is no trace of a woman around you? End of this chapter.